Welcome back, disc golf fans, to final round back nine coverage of the 2024 Texas State Disc Golf Championships presented by Lone Star Discs. The Brock Premier course has shown us lots of birdies thus far. Looking forward to seeing that continue on the back nine. I'm Nathan Queen, again joined by Andrew Fish.
Yeah, our final nine here at the Texas State Championships in Houston. And Nathan, I think the biggest thing to contend with out here is the wind. Get yourself clean off the tee, and it seems like the birdies are able to present themselves.
Yeah, closer to the basket the better with that wind, but it doesn't seem to be quite as blustery today, so a bit more consistent. If you can handle it off the tee, you got a good chance to get yourself a birdie.
Hole 10, 720 par 4, very straight, OB lines both sides as well as behind the basket. An attacking shot off the tee that drags from left to right and then pushes straight. After that, you kind of just have to find your way in. It's going to be a low ceiling to contend with.
And this one looked higher than that low ceiling, but some more airspace early on in the flight, he's able to get some good distance.
Matteo dealing with the cluster of trees on the left side. One tag, but I think he was able to make it through to a throwable spot.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference on a hole like this. If you just get to where you have an arm swing rather than being in that cluster of trees, makes a big difference on how easy a par is to obtain. Randon throws a great shot down the middle. Alden lining one up as well.
And definitely with the low ceiling, taking the right side is Matteo. He'll be up there.
Yeah, pretty far back to reach the circle there, but executes nicely. Looks like he'll have a birdie putt. Interesting standstill choice there. I know he went forehand and you can still get power from that, but wonder if that's what caused him to have that nose down angle.
I don't know. Might have been about footing. Might have been about throwing a faster disc without full speed.
Alden, no troubles at all. Put himself inside the bullseye with the backhand. As Calvin testing some more ceiling, gonna work his way up for a birdie putt as well.
And that approach that Calvin had was about the simplest you're going to see on this hole. Just kind of one angle from about 200 feet. Randon, good putt to clean up his par.
And a good putt there from Calvin. He's snuck in 4 birdies in a row on us. He's 6 down on the round now.
And Matteo from way back goes to
Gobble, gobble.
10.
Brings us to hole 11. 834-foot par 4. Pretty straight shot off of the tee with a couple of trees to contend with in the middle. You've got OB all the way down the right side, as well as left side. Once you get up to the green, there is that OB little pond on the right. Pretty difficult par 4. You got that Mando also to go left of. Calvin shows you how to throw a right-hand backhand shot here.
Yeah, full speed ahead, little bit of drag to it, but mostly pushing straight. Should leave him mid-range, maybe even putter into the green.
Matteo executes the gap as well. Going to fade off to the left, so leaving him a longer approach shot. May have to go fairway or maybe driver, just what depends on what he's comfortable with. This one needs to turn over. And it does not appear it has. It's going to find that OB left side.
his reaction is my reaction also. It seemed like he threw such a flippy disc that even though it landed late, it was going to get over.
Yeah, to me it looked like it maybe hit something on the ground. I saw a little something pop up as it landed. I think it might have just kind of killed that speed a little bit for it to turn over.
Whatever the eventual fate of Randon's shot, we'll never know. Tags a tree on the way in. He'll probably have layup left. Alden with a big backhand, running off to the left side again, and compounding his errors here, Nathan.
Oh man, yeah. Double OB. It's going to add up the strokes quickly, as he'll now be throwing 5, looking likely double bogey at best.
Calvin not quite willing to give that the width that it needed because there's a pond on the right side of the screen, but still is up there going to be putting.
Yeah, and just kind of some upshots from over here.
And Matteo had that turkey matching Calvin Heimburg showing on the screen. Going to have to give it up here. Calvin will keep that going, though.
Oh, man, 5 birdies in a row. He's going to tie Matteo for the round now. And for the event, both at 22 under par.
Hole 12, 460 feet, a par 3. Plenty of space on the left side, at least in terms of out of bounds, but there's more airspace out to the right side. So this is just a big righty flat shot that's going to have some late stability on it.
Yeah, it looked like those flags were blowing a little left to right. So going to be a bit more difficult for it to move left today, as you see Calvin end up down there a little right side. This looks like a nice line from Matteo, something very overstable. And come up a little on the short side, but he'll be in circle 2.
And trying to play a little bit of a flex shot, it seems, but never right enough of the basket. Randon is going to be in the circle, and if not, close to it.
Yeah, that had some sneaky distance on it. Never really looked like it stood up, but just kept pushing forward. You do see some tighter lines today than what we've seen the first 2 rounds. Likely because of that head left to right wind. Is Alden going to come up just short on that birdie look?
And from long right, Calvin Heimburg. Another basket with a force field on it, Nathan. We'll see what Randon can do with our last birdie chance.
Yeah, a couple of them just seem to have that down-pushing force field on them. And this one will not get repaired by this card. Maybe the next card will fix it.
Beth at 69.
I just told myself, you got to will this one in there. Whatever you have, just will it in there.
This man is unbelievable. This is what athletes live for. This is the moment.
Got a good thing coming, and it's all I need. Everything I wanted is in front of me. It's a good.
Moving into hole 13, 282-foot par 3. Got a Mando on the left side. And very much trouble on the right side if you get kicked in there deep. With as low as that was, hopefully it won't be too bad scramble for par, but pretty straight shot, and just wind dependent is going to be what you decide to throw on this hole.
For sure. Not a whole lot of difference in where those shots were at the midpoint of the fairway, but they're going to be wildly different in their outcome.
Oh. I'm not sure if he passed the Mando or not there.
I think he had. I think it's the cluster after the Mando that both Randon and Alden were flying kind of to the left of.
Yeah, Alden out there safe for sure. It looks like Randon had passed that Mando. So once you get past it, it's pretty open to get up and down for par, but 282, you don't really want to get up and down. You want to putt.
And, man,
Yeah,
that was a pretty good bid from out there at 60 feet.
Matteo gonna card the lone birdie here on the short par 3. And Randon gonna put the card back to even on the hole.
On hole 14, 711 feet, a par 4. Likely to see 4 backhand drives that break off to the left side, and then the basket tucked pretty far right. So the closer you are to the out-of-bounds line on the left side, the better your angle in. To me, this played like a really long 7-11 because of the low ceiling off the tee.
Yeah, low ceiling off the tee, and you've got to get past that little bush that's in the middle of the fairway once you get out of the gap. As well as you want to get left close to that OB line, but it's kind of invisible. You can't really see it off of the tee, so really have to know the course or kind of guess how far left you want to move.
And that's going to be a tough spot to scramble from for Alden because his angle is completely closed off to the green. Likely going to have to bisect the rest of the hole.
This has got to stand up some more or hit something to not go OB left. Must have.
I really like the interesting choices on angle and stability that Alden will make. Crowd seems to react favorably as well.
Yeah, seemed like that was roller angle to me. As Matteo needed just a little bit more height to really get there, but should have himself a birdie look. And Randon in a great spot off of the tee shot.
Yeah, able to see the basket, which is...
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow. That was such a cool throw.
Might have impressed himself with that.
Yeah, it just had that slow stand-up the entire flight. That's one of my favorite shots to watch. Looks like it's supposed to hyzer and just keeps tracking at the basket. No way. You are not supposed to birdie from where Alden's tee shot landed.
No. Like, the heat map is very blue from there.
What? Nonetheless, he gets himself back under par. As Matteo may have gotten big putted there by that amazing birdie scramble from Alden. Is there a stat for scramble birdies?
There should be. You don't get that many scramble chances that can result in birdies here at Brock just because the out of bounds is the number one killer of scores.
Moves us to hole 15. Very unlikely to see the scramble birdie here. Reads 372, plays, or actually is maybe about 330, 340. Pretty stock forehand or lefty backhand shot here, but we've got Calvin with the injury going righty backhands and Alden also throwing righty backhands, so get to see a couple nice turnover shots here.
Yeah, kind of different approaches there. Calvin driving it at the basket, Alden trying to play like an elegant turnover that's gliding the entire way.
Yeah, nice height, nice distance there from Randon. Be up there looking at the birdie.
Matteo Matteo scoops this a little bit. We'll see. Nope. Didn't quite push it far enough to get around the last two Guardians.
So, very nice putt there for Matteo. 3 of the last 4 holes he's had that putt and not been able to connect till now. Needed that one to keep his momentum going. He's 9 under par on the round. Has it going well.
Alden, back-to-back nice birds. He's had kind of a wild roller coaster, but is hanging in there, which is what you have to do when you don't have your best stuff, Nathan.
Yeah, certainly so. He's made some good putts to hang in there, and that usually seems to be what you have to do if you don't have your best stuff.
Hole 16, 294, par 3. Not a lot of out of bounds to speak of. Kind of the same as a few holes back. You're going to be taking something that pushes a little bit left to right, but if you throw it straight, you end up with a fine putt anyway.
And I did like that line from Alden, just a bit on the low side. That's one of those, why not? I'll take a putt.
Matteo with the improvement on Alden's line with the height, flexes back towards the bucket.
Beautiful shot. That's likely how he drew that one up.
And Calvin with a slightly flippier disc.
Yeah, looked like he may have gone putter rather than mid, and he's going to slide on up there nicely.
Wow.
Yes, Alden's got the putter on fire now. Little bit of height issues early on, but last 3 putts, I think all circle 2. The last one may have been right around circle's edge, but some long putts landing for Alden's got him 3 under par now.
Yeah, gorgeous hyzer spin putt. Randon for the comeback for par. And the 3 putt's going to bite him again.
Matteo in for back-to-back birdies. Moves us to hole 17. 717 feet, par 4. Kind of get as far as you can off of the tee. I think there's an intended landing zone off to the right, but if you get far enough and move left, then you're pretty open as well. Just got to stay away from this stuff in the middle to give yourself a line, and Alden's got caught up by that.
The wind at this time playing mostly head with some right to left, so that favors the players who are trying to push out to the left side in the later part of their flight.
Little low there from Matteo. I think he's going to be far enough to be able to manufacture something from there.
And the full swing from Calvin, going to get tangled up in some pine branches about 2/3 of the way from what his flight potential was. But that's still far enough to induce a birdie look later.
Randon again throwing very understable, lots of hyzer. Maybe didn't push straight like he wanted, but then does go all the way left where he's going to be pretty clean for his approach shot.
Yeah, I couldn't hear exactly what he said, but it didn't sound great in tone. But I'd be thrilled to be out where Randon is.
Yeah, should be in a good spot. Going this right side, I believe they're throwing over a small little patch of OB there where you see the tall grass. But not really too much trouble. As Alden with a bit of a funny angle, having to go super overstable, may have skipped into that wood line on the left. And here
If
you
he's in
see
circle
that.
2, we know he's dangerous, though.
Yes, indeed. He's got a circle 2 line running right now as Randon up and down nicely to get his bounce back birdie. Wow. Never saw him, just saw the disc come out there, and he still caught what would have been metal.
Yeah, really having to manufacture that third shot to settle for par, and Calvin with a good bird. Going to play the last hole here, hole 18, 405 feet. Plays, I think, significantly longer than that. Island green. The space is at the bottom of the hill, right and short. But that's pretty difficult to hit, particularly with a heady right to left cross. You just have to give it so much width and then trust a lift on the end.
Yeah, I believe I ranged this one at 440 or so. Calvin's pulled this one out wide. Hopefully, I can't. You go to drop zone, OB, correct?
That's correct. Everything that's out of bounds goes to drop zone.
This looks great shot from Randon. Will it sit down? Looks like it is going to catch a little bit of a roll before he gets that green flag, but should be in position to run a scary birdie if he rolled to the bottom of the hill.
And I'd have to guess that a 3 would still keep Alden Harris in the top 20. Don't know if he's a score looker when he's playing. That would be a pretty respectable tournament finish. Matty O, the big hyzer, going to land partway up the hill, but then get that roll back down.
And does stop before the OB.
That P word's a little.
So Calvin now from the drop zone should finish his round 9 under par with the bogey on 18. Matty O gonna lay up that par, have double digits to finish.
Alden wants no business with the teeth of this hill. Randon is going to make an effort and end up by the whiskers. So Calvin here for the lone bogey on the card. Stays in a solo 5th place. Good for him.
Yeah, we'll finish out with a few pars on the card. Pretty decent score here on 18.
And there you go. Matty O leading the charge from the chase card. Calvin Heimburg just behind him. Nathan, so much good action out here. And you have to display a diversity of skills, which is what you want a disc golf course to do. Congratulations to Anthony Barella grabbing another win early in this 2024 season.
Yeah, shooting well, taking the lead nicely. As you see, he's got Gannon Burr by 4 points or so on the DGPT standings. We roll down through that top 20.
And I think we need to give a little holler to you. Do you have a pretty good finish? Is that right?
Yeah, I ended up with a top 10 and got my USDGC spot early on in the year.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for joining us here on Gatekeeper Media for the Texas State Disc Golf Championships. For Andrew Fish, I'm Nathan Queen. We'll see you guys out there.